All right, this is take two on this video because I just recorded this entire video and the file was corrupted, so love that. But today we're going over a couple trades, two trades specifically that I took this past week, one on USD CAD and one on US or GBP CHF. So I want to go over these trades, and they're pretty simple trades, right? You guys know my higher time frame strategy. I trade fairly simple. Now, of course, there's intricacies that are within these strategies or within my strategy, but if you get the overall gist of it, it's confluence. Confluence is key. Confluence is king, in my opinion, and it's what's been helping me obtain a consistent rate of profitability, right? Do I have a 100% win rate? No. Do I always have a 70-80% win rate? No. But am I profitable month after month? Yes. And I did take these two trades on a funded account as well as a challenge, and a personal account as well. So took it across multiple accounts. And first, I want to go over the loss that I took, and I'm going to go down to the 1 hour time frame because that's actually the time frame that I entered on. So as you can see here, we have a big zone. This is USD CAD, by the way, 1 hour time frame. So you can see that we have a big zone here, this purple zone of resistance, resistance, resistance multiple times that then broke through the resistance and turned into support. Now we had as you can see, this massive bearish candle here. That was actually news, but it took it right down to that level I was looking for. And as you can see, this blue line here that I have is signifying a divergence, and it was actually a shark fin divergence, because as you can see here, price is moving down here, and price on the TDI or RSI is moving up. It might be harder to see on, there we go, that's a little bit better. You can see my blue line here. Price is actually moving up, it's moving down here. That is signifying divergence, and we have shark fin divergence. So that is a huge key to this, and my second confluence. My first confluence being the break and retest of this zone here. Resistance turns support. That's basic market structure, y'all. If you don't understand market structure, you can go on Baby Pips, you can go on YouTube. There's a million videos on just basic market structure, but it's something key to any strategy. What I'm saying is that market structure is key to whatever strategy you use, and obviously it's a huge part of my strategy. So the break and retest of this major zone here, we have, and I can get rid of this because I don't know why there's two zones there. There we go. That makes it a little bit cleaner to look at. We had the break and retest of that, and then also what else am I looking for at a confluent zone would be a moving average, which in this case was the 4 hour or 1 hour 50 moving average that is signified by this blue line here. So we had a break and then a retest of that 50 moving average. And another point that I want to have, which is this gold like ray here, this gold line or orange line, whatever it is signifying that we are breaking structure, or there's a change of structure from bearish to bullish. As you can see here, we're making lower highs and lower lows. Then we broke up and we made an equal high pretty much, and then did not make a lower low. We made a higher low, and then we busted through, making a higher high. So that is shifting from bearish to bullish, and then we had the huge bullish impulse up. Then down here we had the retest, and that's where I got in, right on the retest of that 50 moving average. So we had multiple confluences here, like 4 confluences. Shark fin divergence, which could really be 2 because shark fin and divergence are different. 2 confluences there. We had the break and retest of the 50 moving averages. There's a third one. We had the break and retest of this massive zone here, structure zone. That could be 4. And then we also have, what did I say? Oh, I guess you could say break of structure here, change of structure from bearish to bullish, but I'm not even going to count that. So basically 4 confluences, right, that we looked at here, and the trade just didn't work out, and that's okay. Sometimes your trade's not going to work out. I don't have a 100% win rate. I never claim to, and you don't have a 100% win rate either. No one has a 100% win rate, so you're going to have to learn how to lose, and guess what? You follow the plan, you follow your strategy, and if it loses, it loses. You move on and go to the next one, which is exactly what I did. Would I enter this trade again? Yes, if it comes out in the future, a trade just very similar to this one with all these confluences, yes, because it was a high probability trade for myself. Now, I did take a similar trade after this one lost, by the way. on GBP CHF. And guess what? This trade flew to TP. So, what did we have? We, on the higher time frames, we have massive lows here, like a double, triple bottom here on lows, or on these lows, and I'm waiting for this kind of consolidation zone to be broken, right? Which I'm going to go over a future trade that I can see on this pair as well. Excuse me. But we had a break and retest of the 50 moving average here, which I didn't enter on that one because we didn't really have any significant breaks up here. But then we broke above the 200 moving average, broke and retested, and boom, I entered right on this candle break from this bearish candle to the bullish candle. Huge bullish impulse up. I entered, and it came down, almost stopped us out, but ended up not stopping us out, and we ended up holding into this trade and ended up flying up and hitting TP. Another entry point could have been once it broke and retested the 50 moving average again. That could have been an entry right there, even a couple pips better entry, and then boom, we flew up with news and hit TP. But this one was looking for, let's look at the 4 hour here. What did we have on the 4 hour? We had a shark fin on the 4 hour. We had these massive lows, and we finally had a clean break above this 50 moving average to then retest 50, 4 hour 50, which was the 1 hour 200, and then we broke above. Now, there's another trade within this trade, right, that you can see kind of developing here, or not within this trade, but within this chart, and that is going to be, this is on the 4 hour time frame. I drew this up when I was recording this last time, when I was recording in this video the first time. So I'm hoping I'm not skipping over anything that I went over the first time. Hopefully not, but if so, it is what it is. So we had my trade here, right? And now what you can see developing is could be another massive retest for continuation buys, which I really like continuation buys once a direction is established. Like here, as you can see, we are breaking major structure here, breaking this zone up to the, you know, above these moving averages. And now what's going to happen is if this price trails down, these moving averages are going to trail with it, and they're either going to collide or cross somewhere in here. And if they collide and cross right at this structure zone, that is going to look really nice on higher time frames for a break and retest of this major structure. What you could also call like a flip zone, right? We're breaking above to retest, then to flip bullish after this huge bearish trend that we had going on. We're starting to see this market structure shift to bullish. So this is a trade you could look out for on GBP CHF. Again, this is the 4 hour time frame. If we go down to the 1 hour time frame, yeah, we have a shark fin for sells right now. But if this flies down here, we might have a nice shark fin for buys down here as well, which will just be another added confluence onto this. Now, I know I'm going over these kind of quick, so if you don't understand some of the things I'm going over, go check out the rest of my channel. I have plenty of other videos going over this strategy a little bit more in depth. Go over some of my other trade breakdowns that I have and stuff like that, and you'll see what I'm really looking for. But that's a trade that you could look for this coming week, honestly. I'm going to go back to the 4 hour because it's a little bit cleaner and easier to look at. This is kind of a bread and butter setup, if I'm being honest, and it just needs some other kind of confluence. We have a nice break here. If we have the retest of structure, that'd be one confluence. If we have the moving averages are set in place, that'd be another one. And then if we have a shark fin on maybe the 1 hour time frame, that'd be a clean 3 confluences, which is kind of my minimum that I like to go for when taking a trade. 3 confluences, beautiful, boom, we'll take the trade. Will it win? Who knows? But is it a high probability? In my opinion, yes. And in my experience, yes. So this is something I'm looking for. As a bonus here, I want to go over a trade that I actually missed, but ended up playing out. It's still actually playing out, and that is this USD CHF trade, which is very similar to the USD CAD trade that I took. And I actually had a limit order set right here, and I did not get triggered in because this trade actually hit my entry last Sunday right at market open. So I didn't end up actually getting in this trade, which is unfortunate, because if I did enter, it would have entered me all the way up here because of spreads. Spreads was like 10 to 15 pips, so I would not have gotten the entry ideally that I needed, that I wanted. But this entry, if I would have got tagged in, that I drew up, literally had like 2 pips of drawdown and then flew. So that would have been awesome. But this is, again, similar to the other ones, a clean break and retest of this structure zone. Also, the moving averages are colliding right here. And look how accurate that is. This is something that could easily happen on USD CHF, or GBP CHF, like we just went over, is a massive break and retest like this on the 4-hour time frame. And with the confluences that add up, let's see, I bet this was also a 1-hour shark fin if I go down. Yep, boom, look at that. Right on that 200 moving average and a 1-hour shark fin, boom, and then end up flying. And it's still playing out. It might hit break even, it might continue up, but you would have been active in that trade with 2 pips of drawdown. And even if you would have gotten out a little early, I like to aim for the previous highs usually, but even if you would have gotten out a little early, it already hit a 1 to 3. So that's usually the minimum that I like. 1 to 2, 1 to 3, depending on if it's like a funded account or not. Funded accounts, I usually go, if it's a 1 to 2, I might trail my stop up. Or if it's Friday and it's a 1 to 2, if it's actual money on a funded account, I'm taking the profit. I'm not going to hold it over the weekend just to try and get one more R out of it, right? But if it's a challenge, I usually let it rock because you're just trying to, pass the challenge to then get funded. So that's a trade I missed. A little unfortunate, but it is what it is. But this goes to show how accurate this strategy can be once all the confluences are lining up. And that's the key to this strategy, to really a lot of strategies, I think, is people are just looking for like one thing, but they're not looking at the bigger picture of higher time frames, where market structure is, what direction we're going in. They might be taking a lot of counter trend trades that have one confluence that sometimes work out, sometimes doesn't. But if you're not looking at the overall trend, overall market direction on the daily, the 4-hour, the monthly, in my opinion, you're gonna have a lot lower win rate, in my experience. So those are the trades I wanted to go over today for you guys. 1 loss, 1 win, but of course my loss was much lower than my win. My win netted me much more profit than my loss. So it wasn't stressful. Even though I took that loss, I was able to just continue moving forward and took the next trade with a very similar trade, by the way, but just happened to occur on another pair. Took that trade because guess what? It goes according to my strategy. It goes according to my plan. And you have to be systematic when it comes to trading. So I lost. Okay, cool. Move on. Boom. The next setup happens. Bam. I take it. It wins. It flies to TP. So something to consider. Something that you guys need to get down if you want to be successful in this game is going to be learning how to be systematic when trading. Losses are going to happen. You're going to have to get over them. Higher risk to reward trades will help you guys because you're not going to be as stressed on the losses, because you just know, like when I lost on USD CAD earlier in the week, I knew that the next trade coming could be a 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio, and it's going to make up for 3 or 4 times as much as the loss that I just took. And that's exactly what happened. I took like a 1 loss and then a 1 to 3 on GBP CHF, and so I ended up plus 2R for the week. So I'm chilling, completely happy with it. I hope you guys got something good out of this video. Sorry if I'm a little scatterbrained because I did, like I said, recorded this already. So this is my second time recording this, and my voice is starting to go out a little bit as well. But I hope you guys got something valuable out of it. If you did, would love you guys to subscribe. If you're not, like the video, comment what you thought of the video, comment anything that's going on in your trading journey right now, or any video suggestions or ideas that you guys may have. Definitely will take those into consideration as well. So appreciate you guys. You guys trade safe out there. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.